ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया
ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं
येन
येन
तस्मै
तस्मै
श्रीगुरुवे
श्रीगुरुवे
नमः।
नमः।
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं
स्थापितं येन
स्थापितं येन
भूतले
भूतले
स्वयं रूपा
स्वयं रूपा
कदा
कदा
मह्यं
मह्यं
ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्।
ददाति।
वन्देऽहं
वन्देऽहं
श्रीगुरो
श्रीगुरु
श्रीयुतापत्कमलं
श्रीयुतापदकमलं
श्रीगुरुं
श्रीगुरुं
वैष्णवांश्च
वैष्णवं
श्रीरूपं
श्रीरूपं
साग्रजातं
साग्रजातं
सागणरघुनाथान्वितं सतं सजीवं
जीवं
साद्वैतं
साद्वैतं सावधूतं
परिजनसहितं
परिजनसहितं
कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं
कृष्णदेवं
श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान्
श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान्
सहगणललिता
सहगणललिता
श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे
हे
कृष्णा
कृष्ण
करुणा
करुणा
सिन्धु
सिन्धु
दीनबन्धो
दीनबन्धु
जगत्पते
जगत्पते
गोपेश
गोपेश
गोपिकान्ता
गोपिकान्ता
राधाकान्ता
राधाकान्ता
नमोऽस्तुते
नमोस्तुते
तप्त
तप्त
काञ्चन
काञ्चन
गौराङ्गी
गौराङ्गी
राधे
राधे
वृन्दावनेश्वरी
वृन्दावनेश्वरी
कृष्णानुसुते
कृष्णानुसुते
देवी
देवी
प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये
हरिप्रिये
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपा
कृपा
सिन्धुभ्य एव च
सिन्धुभ्यैव च
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमः।
नमो
मूकं करोति
करोति
वाचालं
वाचालं
पङ्गुं
पङ्गुं
लङ्घयते
लङ्घयते
गिरिं
गिरिं
यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे
यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे
श्रीगुरुं
श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं
दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य
श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य
ईश्वरम्
ईश्वर
गुरुवे
गुरुवे
गौरचन्द्राय
चन्द्राय
राधिकाय
राधिकाय
तदालये कृष्णाय
कृष्णाय
कृष्णभक्ताय
कृष्णभक्ताय
तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे
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 हरे राम हरे राम
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 हरे
हरे
हरे।
हरे।
Let me ask you before we get started, who all have read the book? I know Sheetal Mataji has read. Nagarchand Prabhu and I have read multiple times. I know Shubhalas Prabhu, of course. Who else? Yes. Avni Vedahi, is this your first time reading this? Okay. Okay. So, I want everyone to have this book, and we have many books. So whoever does not have, please let me know and we will provide you the book. Please have your own copy so that you can underline, write, highlight, write notes, write in the margins, your realizations, your whatever questions you have. And I think I've shared with you before, great people are very well known to write in the margins of the books. One of the very great people who's very, very famous for writing in the margins is Mark Twain. So I think many of you may be familiar with Mark Twain. So please have your own copy of these principal books. There are 4 principal books that Prabhupada has recommended us to read. He made made those 4 books the part of the fundamental bhakti literature, the elementary concepts of bhakti. Don't feel that they are elementary. I feel that some of those books are very advanced concepts, especially the Goswami. There are 2 Goswami books in those. So one is Bhagavad Gita, then there is Sri Ishopanishad, both of which we have covered in great detail, and then the Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion. So Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion, those 2 are the Goswami literature, both composed by which Goswami? Who knows? Which Goswami?
Rupa Goswami.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Srila Rup Goswami, right? So so of course these are translated in English by Prabhupada. He has further simplified it for us. And this Nectar of Instruction, when Rup Goswami wrote it, was called, what is his book called?
Shri Updeshamrita.
Shri Updesha Amrita. Okay. So Shri Updesha Amrita. And let's talk about this book. Okay, Nectar of Devotion. I don't know if we will take that book ever, but that is called Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So that goes much deeper. It's the Sindhu, it's the ocean where you take deep dive into bhakti. But Nectar of Instruction is actually not that like it will go deep, but it will start from the basic principles and will go into more depths. So it has only 11 verses, and this is one of the shortest books that Prabhupada has recommended. Out of the 4 books, this is the shortest books. And I really encourage some of the devotees here, especially those that have already read Bhagavad Gita, Sri Ishopanishad, and are now reading Nectar of Instruction, to please consider taking Bhakti Shastri course, which Prabhupada has recommended for all devotees. So to go deep into the study of Prabhupada's books, these 4 books are recommended and Bhakti Shastri course is recommended. You're almost, 3/4, you'll be 3/4 of the way there. So please consider Sheetal Mataji and Nagarchand Prabhu, Ravi Prabhu, and other devotees also, kids also. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen and we will read the preface of Nectar of Instruction. Yeah, I did make some slides also. I don't know if we will have time to cover the slides, but we'll try. Okay, so before we get started, just to give a very basic concept of who is Rup Goswami and what we are reading today. So Rup Goswami is one of the 6 Goswamis, as I just told you. Rup Goswami is, and all these 6 Goswamis, they are disciples of or direct followers of a very wonderful personality, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I don't know if everybody is familiar here with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he is none other than Krishna himself, who came in this Kali Yuga about 500 years back. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally appeared. So Krishna basically personally appeared to give us the principles of bhakti. He showed, Krishna himself came and gave us this he established the principles of bhakti with his personal conduct, with his personal practice. He taught the uh, devotional service to many people about 500 years back. So he basically came to distribute this Krishna Prem, and most importantly through Krishna Naam. He gave Krishna Prem through Krishna Naam. Okay, he inaugurated the Yug Dharma of this Kali Yuga. What is the Yug Dharma of this Kali Yuga? Is it deity worship or is it fire sacrifices? Okay, Avni, Avni, speak up. I can see your face, but maybe not others.
Is it like Harinam Sankirtan?
What do you mean? Is it? Is it?
It is. It is.
Yeah, so don't answer question with a question. I know you know, so ask boldly. Boldly declare, Avni. Boldly declare. Sankirtan is the Yug Dharma. Sankirtan means chanting of the holy names is the Yug Dharma of the Kali Yuga, right? So Harinam Sankirtan is the Yug Dharma. So he came to personally inaugurate, personally establish Sankirtan movement as the Yug Dharma, Harinam Sankirtan. So he gave Harinam freely to everyone. And this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Krishna who has given us Bhagavad Gita, he gave us these principles in Bhagavad Gita that Satatam Kirtayanto Mam or Sarv Dharman Parityaja, that always chant my names, always think about me, always talk about me, Mat Chitta, Madgat Parana, Bodhyanta Parasparam, always discuss about me. He gave us all these teachings, all these instructions in Bhagavad Gita, but actually many people were still not following it. Not many people, hardly anybody was following these principles of Bhagavad Gita. So then he came personally to show with his own conduct how to perform, how to include those principles that he gave in Bhagavad Gita in our life, how to apply those principles given in Bhagavad Gita in our life. It's like somebody speaking but not really doing it, not really showing it through their achar. So Krishna thought, I have shown it by my speech, I have given all the principles by my speech in Bhagavad Gita, but I have not shown it with my acharan, with my conduct. So it is important that our prachar matches with our achar, with our acharan. So prachar and achar both have to go together. That's why so many times we see that people may not be able to take up to what we preach because maybe our acharan is not very proper. Speaking for myself, there may be many deficiencies in our conduct and our acharan, and so people may not take up to our word. So Krishna has no such deficiencies, so he came with the perfect conduct, the perfect acharan, and showed with his own example how to practice those principles of Bhagavad Gita, how to apply them in the life. And he could have single-handedly established all the principles himself. He could have written all the books, he could have established all the temples, he could have lived as a sannyasi in Vrindavan, and he could have done all the things. But Krishna likes to do things through his devotees. Krishna likes to do things through his devotees. So he gave this opportunity to 6 of his followers, to many other followers also, but these were the 6 principal followers to whom Krishna, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, gave the opportunity to perform these tasks, right? And who knows what are the 4 tasks that Mahaprabhu gave these 6 Goswamis to perform? The 4 missions. We have discussed this also many times. Yes, Navya.
One of them was building temples, I think, and doing like preaching.
Build temples and preaching. Okay, yes. Build temples, establish the deity worship. Yes. Who else will say?
Mataji Hare Krishna, writing the scriptures.
Yes, Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, he instructed them to compose all the Vaishnav Siddhant, the philosophy through the devotional literature. And what else? Four tasks he gave, 4 missions. He told the Rupa and Sanatan Goswami to go to Vrindavan and perform these 4 services for him. So 2 of those you already mentioned. And what are the other 2? Please feel free to share. Nagarchand Prabhu, Sheetal Mataji.
Find the deities in the Vrindavan. Was that part of the building temple or was it one different task?
Fix up Vrindavan, like renovate.
Find the pastime places of Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. Re-explore the pastime places of Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. So, establishing
establish Vaishnav etiquettes and give by Acharya show what are the etiquettes for Vaishnavas.
Very bold. Between all of us, we got the 4 missions, the 4 tasks. Thank you, everyone. So to write the devotional literature, Vaishnav Siddhant, compose all the Vaishnav philosophy in easy to understand language through books. Then to establish Vaishnav character, conduct, etiquettes, Vaishnav Sadachar through their own example and in written form also. And to re-explore the pastime places of Radha Krishna and to establish the temples and the deities in the temple. Okay. So let's read. So these are the 6 Goswamis that were given these personal instructions, personal teachings by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or by Krishna himself. So they were directly taught by Krishna. Okay. And one of those Goswamis has then written this book. So think about this. Imagine, Krishna at the beginning of the creation gives all the knowledge to Brahmaji. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. So Krishna gives, the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam says that Krishna gives all the knowledge to Lord Brahma at the beginning of the creation. All the knowledge manifests in the heart of Brahmaji. Now let's say Brahmaji is giving us a book to read. Brahmaji writes all that and gives us in a very simple form to read. Simple, easy. So easy that Rupa Goswami has actually composed it in only 11 verses. Only 11 verses. Can you imagine going from the most basic principles to the most advanced principles in just 11 verses? Like how these days we have these books for dummies, right? Engineering for dummies. I don't know if engineering is possible for dummies, but there are so many books like this. Spanish for dummies. I know I used when I was learning Spanish.
Medical literature for dummies, like pediatric for dummies, I know.
Yeah, like so many literature is there for dummies, huh? So this is, consider that somebody who's personally empowered by the Lord, directly taught, directly instructed, has written a book. And that book we are reading. So imagine what is the glories of that book. And that person is so empowered that they have given this, all the principles, they have summarized them, made in a very concise book in 11 verses. This is the glory of Rupa Goswami. This is the glory of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and somebody who's empowered by Krishna directly like this. So the importance of reading this book. Okay, let's get started without any further ado. Let's read at least one or 2 paragraphs. Who wants to read? Yes, Avni, please.
Hare Krishna. The Krishna conscious movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas, or Bengali Vaishnavas, are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are direct disciples. Therefore, Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung Rupa
Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti kabe hama boja base jugal pariti. Do you remember that song? Gauranga bolite habe jugal hari
Pulak
pulak sharira hari hari bolite nayan pabenira. That one. Narottam Das Thakur has sung. Yes, Abni, please go ahead. Sorry.
When I am eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the science of Krishna. The most exalted of all the activities of Lord Krishna are pastimes of conjugal love with the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the best of the gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in his footsteps, one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of the six Goswamis, Sri Rupa, Sanatan Pata Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopal Bhatt, and Dasa Raghunath.
Very cool. Thank you, Avni, for reading. So here, one of the things Prabhupada is saying is that this movement, Krishna consciousness movement, is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. So we do everything under the supervision, right? We have a guru, a shishya parampara. So shishya works under the supervision, under the direction, under the teachings, instructions of the guru. So who is the supervisor, the leader of this Krishna conscious movement? This is leader of all Goswamis, leader of the whole Krishna conscious movement, that is Srila Rupa Goswami. So that's why we are called Rupa Nugas. Anugat hona means, anugat means to be subservient or to be under somebody, to work under someone, to be under the supervision of someone. Kisi ke anugat hoke kaam karna. Isliye Rupa Nuga means that we are anugat to Srila Rupa Goswamis. And all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, so Gaud Desh is Bengal, West Bengal. So Gaud Desh or Bengali Vaishnavas are the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we already talked about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came to give us the benediction of the science of Krishna. So he came to give us the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. He came to make us understand this Krishna Prem, this glories of Harinam. And of course, why he came is a very big topic in itself. Every time Lord comes, there are some external and internal reasons. What we have mentioned just now, that he came to establish Yug Dharma, came to give us Krishna Prem, came to give us Harinam, that is the external motivation of why Lord came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are some internal confidential reasons also, which we will discuss some other time. But Mahaprabhu, of course, you should know that he came in the mood of Radharani. So Krishna took the color or Gaur Varna, the fair complexion of Radharani, and came in the mood of the highest devotee. So highest devotee is Srimati Radharani. And he came in the mood of that highest devotee, so he can show with his own example, the example of the best devotee, that how one should be. So if we see Srimati Radharani's conduct and her etiquettes and her teachings and her mood, her Krishna Prem, then we can, aspire to perform the highest devotional service. So she's the best of the gopis, best of the devotees, and he took the form of the best of the devotee to establish the devotional service for us. Okay, let's keep reading. Who wants to read maybe read the next two paragraphs?
I can read, Mataji.
Yes, ma'am.
Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswamis, and to guide our activities, he gave us this Updeshamrita, the nectar of instruction to follow. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind him the 8 verses known as Shikshashtaka, Rupa Goswami gave us the Updeshamrita so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. In all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is engrossed in the modes of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattvagun, by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami, and then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying that so Mahaprabhu himself, did not write much literature. He gave us those 8 verses, Shikshashtakam. If you remember, we did a series of classes on Shikshashtakam just earlier this year at the time of Gaur Purnima. But the principles or the teachings have come from Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu actually taught each Goswami. And so Rup Goswami received instructions from Mahaprabhu at Prayagraj, at Prayagraj in Varanasi at the Dashashvamedh Ghat. And for 10 days continuously, he received teachings from Mahaprabhu. And I will show you that chapter. This comes in Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches Rup Goswami for 10 days, so their stories, we should understand the stories of the Goswamis also, where they came from, how they met Mahaprabhu, and then what did they do further to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. How did they spread Harinam? How did they carry out the services that they were given to him, so that we can also, follow in the footsteps of these great acharyas. So we should read about the life or the biography, the life journey, the whole journey of these great acharyas, because it helps us to, not only get purified, but also helps to emulate or follow in their footsteps, try to imbibe their conduct, absorb their mood, their service mood, their seva bhav, their love, their surrender in our own character as well, much better. So we should try to read their life journey as much as possible. So I'll share a little bit today. Then Mataji just read this paragraph where Prabhupada is talking about first duty is to control mind and senses. So you will see that Nectar of Instruction, the first verse opens with the control of mind and senses. It seems like a very basic concept, which Bhagavad Gita also talks about. Krishna talks about in Bhagavad Gita many, many times about the control of mind and senses. But we are actually just stuck on this one point. We are not able to really even control our mind and senses. And those people that have the perfect control of their mind and senses are called go, right? Go, like Govinda, the one who gives pleasure to our senses is Govinda. So senses को बोलते हैं go. और जो इनको control करता है, the one who controls their senses and mind is called Goswami. Okay, so the master of senses, master of this mind and senses is called Goswami. So Prabhupada is saying one has to become perfect Goswami. He will say that in next paragraphs, that one has to become a Goswami. So it starts from self-control. The spiritual journey, the spiritual path, the self-realization path starts from self-control or bodily control. Body means mind and senses. So to control this body, which is comprised of mind and senses, is the first step in the self-realization. And that's where Nectar of Instruction will start. So you have to stay in Sattva Guna or promote himself to the level of Sattva as much as possible. So controlling mind and senses is the initial stage, the beginning, and means that you are in Sattva because you can control these urges posed by the mind and senses. Let's read the last paragraph also. Who wants to read?
I'm ready.
Yes, Haribol.
Please go ahead.
Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. A follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Vaishnavas are generally known as Goswamis. In Vrindavan, this is the title by which the director of each temple is known. One who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna must become a Goswami. Go means the senses, and Swami means the master. Unless one controls the senses and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. To achieve the highest success in life, by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instructions given in known as Upadesh Matra. Upadesh Matra.
Amrita.
Achha, Upadesha Amrita. Yes, Upadesha Amrita.
Amrita.
Which have been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many other books, such as Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu, Vidagandha
Vidagdha
Madhva,
Madhav,
Madhav,
Lalit Madhav.
and Lalit Madhav. But Upadesh Amrita constitutes the first instructions for neophyte devotees. One should follow these instructions very strictly. Then it will it will be easier to make one's life successful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Prabhupada wrote this preface in Krishna Balram Mandir, Raman Reti, Vrindavan, India, in 1975. So, wonderful words of Prabhupada. So, just what we discussed, that one has to become a perfect Goswamis. You know, I heard recently this understanding about the self-control, which, again, whatever I say for myself, need to control all our, senses and mind. So one of the teachers in our movement, he was sharing that don't cater to your loudest desire or to your loudest thought. Don't cater to meaning don't address or don't respond to your loudest thought or loudest desire. Address the deepest thought, the deepest desire. Okay. Which means, so the loudest thought, because body and mind, the mind and senses, they have a tendency to shout very loudly. Okay. Mind and senses have they have these urges and they will demand, they will make these demands from you. So they will shout very loudly to fulfill those demands. Like certain thing I want to eat, or certain things I want to see, or certain things I want to speak. Certain thoughts that are coming in my mind, or a certain way in which I want to act. So in this way, our body will pose these demands on us, okay, which are very loud thoughts, loud desires, okay. But we should really control ourselves and try not to cater to those, but try to address the deepest desires and the deepest thoughts, okay. So I may have a desire to eat something that may not be very favorable for me. But my deepest desire is to progress in Krishna consciousness. So I should know that I should not listen to this loud desire. I should listen to this deep desire of progressing in Krishna consciousness and do not respond to this demand. Do not respond to this urge, which seems very loud right now. Okay. My deepest desire is to advance in Krishna consciousness. Listen to that desire, and what will be favorable, what will be most beneficial, most helpful in that, cater to, address to that desire, perform that action, address to that thought. Okay. So you know that there are two concepts, prayas and shreyas. Shreyas is the long-term benefit. Shreyas teham shadi mam tvam prapannam. Arjun says in Bhagavad Gita, what is best for me in long run? Shreyas teham shadi mam tvam prapannam. You please tell me what is best for me. So Shreyas means what is best for me in the long run, long-term benefit. That is what we should cater to, not prayers, which is just very temporary, short-term benefit, which may seem very sweet in short run, but is actually going to be poisonous in the long run. And still, we know these principles, yet time and again we fail on these principles. That's why Nectar of Instruction starts from the sense control and mind control in the first verse, because we are actually very badly failing in sense and mind control on a daily basis multiple times. And Goswami is such person who has that sense and mind control, who can avoid those distractions. Because the soul is covered by this body, and the soul's job, uska kaam hai sirf prem. It is full of prem and anand. But that prem and anand is covered by this bodily demands and urges, so that there are so many distractions that we don't have any clarity. We are so confused. We have no time for actually love and bliss, which is the nature of the soul. We don't have time for that, because we are just catering to the body needs. to the needs of the senses and the mind. So, so there is no clarity. There is no clarity of purpose. There is so much confusion caused by senses and mind. So as long as we can detach ourselves from that body, if we can detach ourselves from the bodily conception, from the demands of senses and mind, then we will develop some clarity. We will be able to access the amazing ocean of love and bliss that Krishna is offering us. So Goswamis are able to access that ocean of love and bliss because they are not confused by these bodily demands and urges. That's why they're called Goswamis. Sometimes they're also called Goswamis because they're master of mind and senses, but also they're the masterminds of bhakti. So they know how to give us this ocean of love and bliss. They're the masterminds. So in a very masterful stroke, Rup Goswami has given us this book called Updeshamrita, and given us this amazing instructions. तो ये जो word है, Updeshamrita, this is sandhi or joining of two Sanskrit word, Updesh plus Amrit. Updesh means Updesh means what?
Instructions.
Instructions, right? Teaching.
Teaching.
Instructions or teaching. And typically the teachings or instructions are not very fun or joyful or nectarian, right? They tend to be very rigid and dry and difficult to take. But this particular teaching, they are Amrit. Amrit means they are very nectarian. So Amrit ka matlab hota hai nectarian, but Amrit also means something that gives you immortal life, that takes you to eternity, that gives you eternality. So Amrit means not only these instructions are nectarian, but these instructions will take you to your eternal life. You will enter that immortal eternal life, the Satchidanand Swaroop, the spiritual body that is our original self. We will reach that. So Amrit, we will become Amrit. So that's why these instructions are very pleasant also, and very and give us the ultimate goal of life also. Okay, now let's read. Let's hear from everyone. Anyone wants to share anything from this preface? Actually, one thing I forgot to share, very important line. Please think about if you have any questions or you want to share any understandings. This line here, this line, very important line. When we read this with our seniors. They pointed this line to us. Nagarchand Prabhu may remember very, very strongly that this is the one line that matters. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. Very important line. On the attitude of the follower. And this also reminded me that, when I was in med school, our head of OB-GYN actually said this. He said that attitude, when you add up, this is the only word that adds up to 100. They say A is 1, like that. Attitude adds up to 100. So attitude of a person is 100%. So how you take a situation, how you take an instruction, how you take so many times, in our life, it's only our attitude that matters. If somebody gives you an instruction, what is your attitude? Are you just whimsically, just loosely following it, or your attitude is to follow it very sincerely, very intensely, deeply? When something good happens to you, what is your attitude? Do you become very puffed up with pride? Or when something bad happens to you, what is your attitude? Do you become depressed and morose and or when you have a difficulty in life, you just give up, or you just learn a lesson, and become a better person, advance more? So your advancement, or whether you advance or not on the spiritual path, also depends on the attitude of the follower. So in this instructions also, you will see that there are people, if your attitude is not very good, you will take these instructions very whimsically or cheaply and not follow them properly. Then there are people who will follow them very sincerely, very intensely, and they will advance more. Similarly, when in the spiritual path, when some obstacles come, when some obstacles come? Will you stay enthusiastic? Utsahan nishchayat dhairyat. Will you keep plowing on? Will you keep carrying on? Rup Goswami gives you this instruction that with utsah, with nishchay, with dhairyat, keep carrying on. So what is your attitude? So is your attitude of being enthusiastic and despite any obstacles, despite any unfavorable situations and problems, you keep moving forward, you stay passionate, you stay interested, you stay invested, you stay committed, then you will make advancement. But if you give up, then that's it. So it depends on the attitude of the follower. So this is something very important, how we take anything in life, in material world, how we take any instruction, any teachings, any lessons, any difficulties, any obstacles, any joyful situation, everything depends on the attitude of the follower. So in every situation, please assess your attitude. How should we respond in that situation? What do our acharyas recommend? Okay, now let's, if anybody's not sharing, then we can read a little bit about Rup Goswami. Just a quick one paragraph. Is anybody ready to read? Interested in reading this?
I can read it. Oh.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let me see which. Let's read actually both about Sanatan Goswami and Rup Goswami both. If that's okay. I know we're running out of time, but I just really want you to get an idea of who's written this book, who is giving us these instructions. Because unless we know who has given us these instructions, it's very it may not be easy to follow. So yes, Vedi.
The 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Rup Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jeev Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami, are very expert in scrutinizingly studying the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. They are always absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in a transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna.
Go ahead. Prabhuji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna devotees. Srila Sanatan Goswami. Srila Sanatan Goswami was born in 1488 in West Bengal. He was the elder brother of Sri Rup Goswami. They were educated in Sakurma, a village near the capital of God, Bengal. The brothers were forced to work as government ministers for Nawab Hussain Shah, the ruler of Bengal. In Ramkeli, Sanatan was known as Sakar Malik and appointed private secretary. In 1514, Sanatan Goswami met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Ramkeli and was initiated by him. He eventually managed to shake off his government duties and escape from imprisonment by the Nawab to make his way to Benares, where he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enlightened Sanatan into the truths of bhakti and devotion and further instructed him to, number 1, write books on devotional service, number 2, establish proper devotee etiquette, number 3, install deities and proper deity worship, number 4, excavate the lost holy places of pilgrimage in Vrindavan.
People. So I think we've all discussed all this. Just one or two points is that Sanatan Goswami is the elder brother of Rup Goswami. There were 3 brothers, and one of the brothers was Anupam. Anupam, is that right, Prabhuji? Anupam Malik, wo aayega naam aage. But then the main point is that they were under both of them, Sanatan and Rup Goswami, were under the employment of this king, Nawab Hussain Shah, a Muslim ruler of Bengal at the time. And they were very important. They were very valued. Actually, Nawab really relied on them for proper administration and management of his kingdom. But then Sanatan Goswami had the chance to meet in Ramkeli once Mahaprabhu visited, and Sanatan Goswami had the opportunity to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were very eagerly waiting to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then at that time, he made up his mind to one day leave this employership of Nawab Hussain. At that time, they still stayed in the service, but eventually Sanatan Goswami was able to escape. Nawab was not had actually imprisoned them. When he realized their plans, he had imprisoned both Rup and Sanatan Goswami. But somehow Sanatan Goswami escaped, and he met Mahaprabhu in Varanasi. And these 4 instructions we have already discussed. So coming to Rup Goswami, please read. Let's see. Who wants to read? Yes, Mataji.
Srila Rupa Goswami. Yeah. Srila Rupa Goswami appeared in 1489 in Karnataka, South India. He was the younger brother of Srila Sanatana Goswami. Forced by various circumstances, Srila Rupa Goswami and the Sanatana Goswami had to work for the Muslim government of Bengal under Nawab Hussain Shah. Rupa Goswami was then known by the Muslim name Dabir Khas. Although he enjoyed great wealth and the prestige, he never forgot Lord Sri Krishna. Even before meeting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami had already written several books on Vedic philosophy and was renowned for his learning and the devotion. In 1514, Rupa and Sanatana met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the first time and were initiated by him. Rupa left government service and spent 10 days hearing from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Sri Chaitanya then ordered Rupa Goswami to go
ये skip कर
Vrindavan.
सकते हैं, ये हमने पढ़ लिया था ना, ये 4 चीजें, 4 missions फिर से आ गया. आप ये वाला पढ़.
At first, Rupa Goswami felt great difficulty carrying out the desire of Lord Chaitanya. But one day, while Rupa was sitting on the bank of the Yamuna river, contemplating his mission, a beautiful boy came to him and asked the cause of his despondency. Rupa Goswami explained. The boy then led him to a small hill. Inside the hill, said the boy, is the beautiful deity Govinda Deva. He said that the deity had been buried to protect him during the Muslim invasion. The next day, Rupa Goswami led a group of villagers to the site and had them excavate the hill. The deity Govinda was unearthed. Rupa Goswami then had a magnificent temple constructed under the patronage of the Emperor Akbar and Maharaja Man Singh of Amber, Rajasthan. Shri Govinda Deva is presently being worshipped at Jaipur, Rajasthan. Rupa Goswami fulfilled all 4 parts of the mission given by him by Lord Chaitanya, including the writing many books on the Krishna consciousness. He passed away in 1564. Devotees pay respect to him by visiting his samadhi in the courtyard of the Radha Damodara temple in the Vrindavan. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for reading. So this tells you more about Rup Goswami. He also left ultimately the service of Nawab Hussain and met Mahaprabhu and received teachings from him. And this says at first he felt great difficulty carrying out the desire of Lord Chaitanya. So it is not easy. As you can see, even somebody like Rup Goswami felt great difficulty carrying out the desire of Lord Chaitanya. But then this pastime is described where Sri Govindaji's deity was revealed to Rup Goswami. It manifested for Rup Goswami. So this is a beautiful story, and some of you have visited the Radha Govind temple. It was originally the deity was in Vrindavan, and during Muslim invasion, the deity was transported to Rajasthan. So now the Sri Govinda Dev deity is present is worshipped in Jaipur, Rajasthan. This story also we can discuss sometime, how the deity of Govindaji manifested to Srila Rup Goswami. And so the temple, magnificent temple, was constructed under the patronage of Akbar. So Akbar and Maharaj Man Singh. So unke सानिध्य में उनके help से this temple was constructed. And this is very beautiful that Rup Goswami, his samadhi is in the courtyard of Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. So if you all remember that Radha Damodar temple is where our beloved founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada spent many years before he came to US. In Vrindavan, he used to live in Radha Damodar temple. His room is still there. And from his room, he could see the samadhi of Rup Goswami. And let me show you the samadhi of Rup Goswami. Actually, sorry, this is the, I just had like 8, 9, 10 slides, but I don't think we can cover them. We're running out of time. But this is that's why this picture is on the front page of Nectar of Instruction. Some of the books have the picture of samadhi of Srila Rup Goswami in Radha Damodar temple, because this picture is, this is what Prabhupada used to see when he was sitting in his rooms in Radha Damodar temple. He could see the samadhi of Rup Goswami, and he was inspired. He says that he was directly instructed by Rup Goswami, directly inspired by Rup Goswami to write this literature and to undertake all these amazing, wonderful feats that nobody else could accomplish, that Prabhupada accomplished by the mercy of Srila Rup Goswami. So this is the samadhi of Rup Goswami. And that Radha Damodar temple, Prabhupada always says, is the spiritual hub of the entire creation. So in the whole cosmic manifestation, Radha Damodar temple is the center. Spiritual hub means the center of the spiritual world, is the Radha Damodar temple. So this is just an introduction of Nectar of Instruction. I'll pause here. We can go through the slides next time. I just wanted to give you a little understanding of who Rup Goswami is, how he's directly empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, directly taught by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna. And his instructions is what we are reading in this book. So very important. And he's the leader of our movement. So we need to know his instructions. We need to know what he wants us to do. And he will take you from the basic do's and don'ts, like basic stages, minimal initial stages of bhakti, to the topmost aspect of bhakti, to the Vraj Vas, to the Govardhan Vas, to the Vas at Radha Kund. And then another understanding about Nectar of Instruction is that Nectar of Instruction is assuming that people that are reading it have accepted bhakti as the best way of best spiritual path. They have, we have already read Bhagavad Gita and Sri Shopnishad, so we have come to this conclusion that bhakti yoga, bhakti is the devotional service, love for God is the topmost destination, is the best path, easiest path and best path of spiritual advancement. And so now he's teaching us how that bhakti should be practiced. So you've already accepted bhakti, and now you're learning how that bhakti should be practiced. So he will give us day-to-day application. He will give us a practical application in Nectar of Instruction. You already have the philosophical understanding, right? Why bhakti is topmost. Now you will get practical understanding. So how to apply this. Okay, that's all I have to share. Let's hear from everyone. We have 5 more minutes to go. Any questions, realizations? Ravi Prabhu, Shital Mataji, Nilveni Mataji, Vidushi Mataji, please share, and the kids. And of course, Shubhilas Prabhu, please add and correct anything. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। मतलब जी वन क्विक क्वेश्चन, जो अभी हमने पढ़ा उसमें जो सकार मलिक थे वो रूप गोस्वामी थे?
Sakar Malik was Sanatan Goswami and Dabir Khas. उनका नाम पता नहीं आया था कि नहीं, I didn't realize. रूप गोस्वामी
आया था दबीर खास आया था।
हाँ, वो दबीर खास थे, दबीर खास एंड सकार मलिक। उनके नवाब हुसैन ने उनके नाम भी बदल दिए थे. He had initiated them in different names, with different names. So yes, Mataji. What else? Mataji, you have read it. I know you have even taken courses and all. Please share what are any other.
नहीं, इस पे मैंने कोर्स नहीं करा था, but I have read and made some notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, please feel free to share anything or anybody else.
I'm learning, so it's getting reinforced.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for such a wonderful nectar on the nectar of Desha. I really like the point you mentioned. I mean, every point was so nectarian, but a few which struck me were to address the deepest thoughts, not the loud thoughts. I really like the point. Thank you. And the attitude of the follower, the advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. And His Holiness Bhadanath Sai Maharaj was once sharing, what is that attitude? And that attitude of gratitude is the one which helps a sadhaka. And yesterday also His Grace Rajvihari Prabhu, I got the opportunity to hear from him. And his whole class was centered around this theme of gratitude. And he was sharing a lot from his gratitude journal and how the gratitude is so helpful in the path of bhakti. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. A wonderful point. Krishna. Anybody else?
Yes, Mataji, I have a question, right? As the Prabhuji said, like, we should not listen to our louder desire, not we should listen to the deepest desire. But like me, which is a very initial stage, how is possible to do that? Because the loudest comes more and more in your here, and sometimes we don't even know what is our deepest desire. How to recognize that? What is our deepest desire, and how to follow that? And what is the practical way to avoid the loudest voice, which is we hear more and more, every step of the time, when even we are chanting. I know that I'm chanting, but the multiple times we get being as a woman, it comes what is going in the house, and these kind of things comes in the mind, which is we try to come again, but how we can do that?
Hari Bol, Mataji. That's the whole process. That's the conundrum. That's our bodily conception, because of which we have so many distractions of mind and senses and desires. We're not able to align everything with Krishna. But that's what Nectar of Instruction will teach us, how to align everything with Krishna, our senses, our mind, our desires. So slowly we will sharpen our intelligence. This whole process, Mataji, the A, B, C, D, E that Prabhupada has given us, and actually Mahaprabhu gave, the association of devotees, reading the books, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting of holy names, eating prasadam, and visiting the dhams and temples. This whole ABCDE process is what slowly purifies our mind and senses and desires, so that eventually, the contaminations go away, the intelligence becomes sharp, the mind becomes more subdued and controlled. Senses also becomes controlled. So all these things happen slowly, gradually, but keep sticking with the process, stay with the process, and keep performing, keep chanting, even though there are so many distractions. But we will see that in this book, Rup Goswami will tell us what are the things that are favorable, what are the things that are unfavorable. And when we make conscious effort every day in our life to choose those things that are favorable, Krishna also empowers us. Krishna also gives us strength, so that he gives us mercy. He gives us the know-how, the intelligence on how to control these senses and mind if we try. So if we make this effort, keep making this effort, keep struggling with chanting is more purifying than struggling in this material world. So keep struggling. So it's the struggle. The kids, I remember Avni, where they used to say, struggle is real. Struggle is real. So this struggle is real, but this struggle is purifying.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji, for a nice question. Yeah, this is the whole problem. Okay, we will stop. This is a very important book. So many of our acharyas have given a commentary on this. As you can see, Prabhupada has given this English translation, which is Nectar of Instruction. Even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj has given his commentary, which is called Anuvritti. So this is called Nectar of Instruction. The original book everybody understands is called Updeshamrit. This is Prabhupada's commentary, which is Nectar of Instruction. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj gave the commentary called Anuvritti. And even Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So imagine so many acharyas, they feel this book is so important that all the acharyas are giving translations. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur also gave it, and it's called Piyush Varshini Vritti. Piyush Varshini Vritti. So please stay with this book. You will see it will take us from the mind and sense control to the Braj Bhakti, Braj Bhav in 11 verses. Amazing feat. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you're sharing something, Ravi Prabhu?
Oh, Mataji, I just, you said the Piyush.
Piyush Varshini Vritti.
Vritti,
It's okay,
okay.
Prabhuji, if names, yeah, I can send the name if you want.
Okay. Just for some improving the knowledge, Mataji.
Your knowledge is already top class. So thank you, everyone. Another analogy about Komal Mataji's question I heard was that one who is in the stupor of alcohol cannot focus, cannot see what is real, right? Everything is blurry. So they're very distracted, right? So similarly, we are also in the stupor of this material world, in the stupor of bodily conception. So we cannot see the real thing. We cannot focus while chanting. So as we keep decreasing this stupor, this confusion caused by this bewilderment caused by the material world and bodily conception, slowly things will become clear. So we have to increase our spiritual consciousness and keep, material consciousness should become dim and dull, and just keep reawakening your spiritual consciousness more and more. So the more we associate with the spiritual objects, the spiritual activities, the devotees, the books, all the spiritual things, that paraphernalia that has been given, spiritual consciousness becomes sharp and more prominent, and material consciousness becomes diminished. So the stupor goes away, stupor caused by the material world goes away. दुनिया का नशा कम होते रहता है धीरे धीरे. That's all I have to share. Thank you so much. We'll stop here unless any other comments, questions, realizations, corrections. Nagarjan Prabhu, you wanted to say anything?
Hare Krishna. Thank you again for the wonderful class. It was this book itself is very glorious, as you've already mentioned, and very looking forward to hearing more nectar from the Nectar of Instruction. And we were just yesterday's shloka from our discussion from our morning japa session for the kids was actually 6.26, and those few shlokas 6.26, 34, and 35. I would just want to mention the 6.26, but they talk about the same thing that Mataji was asking about, how to control the mind, and the same conundrum Arjun was having, and Shri Krishna explains how to control it. But 6.26 that we did yesterday, that was coming to my mind, which is yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam asthiram tatasto tato niyamaitad atmani eva vasham nayet. From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. So just wanted to mention that as and then Mataji, if you want to read from Bhagavad Gita, you can hear directly words of Krishna and Prabhupada. These are the few ones I would like to share about. So if you get chance, you could read from there. 6.26, 34, and 35.
Thank you, Nagarjan Prabhu.
Thank
Okay,
you,
I'll
Prabhuji.
pause the recording and then we will talk some more. Thank you so much. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। गुरुचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण।